Coming up on UCF Nightly News.
UCF and the surrounding Orlando community is celebrating LGBTQ History Month.
Learn about a wheelchair you can control with your face.
Ever heard of a human on a chip? Find out how researchers are using a chip to learn how repeat overdoses and exposures to Narcan affect the human body.
In sports, the Knights take advantage of this bye week to prepare for the rest of the season.
Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to UCF Nightly News. I'm Mineta Bailey.
And I'm Nicole Coughlin. Today is Friday, October 11th, 2019.
To close out Hispanic Heritage Month, we spoke to Jose Luis Rivera, one of the members of the Puerto Rican Student Association here at UCF. Nightly News reporter Paola Guzman sat down with Rivera to highlight some of his work.
There was no Puerto Rican Student Association organization. I was like, this is crazy. You know?
Jose Luis Rivera says he created PRSA to unite the Puerto Rican community at UCF and to provide networking opportunities for students.
Because at the end of the day, people wanted it. You know, it's not like something people were discouraged by. On the contrary, you know, if we heard somebody who was speaking Spanish, immediately we were like, oh, where are you from? Like, you know, like we were trying to engage because at the end of the day, you know, we are embracive of everybody, but we want to feel at home.
Rivera also advocated for in-state tuition extension for students affected by Hurricane Maria.
And we identified that the tuition matter, it was priority. So definitely, you know, that was a priority for us to work together and to make the difference for our community.
Rivera says serving people and making society better is part of his motivation.
But somebody has to care about the Puerto Rican people as the same way that, you know, we have to work with other communities, African Americans, other Hispanics.
In Orlando, Paola Guzman, UCF Nightly News.
Rivera continues his involvement in the community with the National Puerto Rican Student Coalition.
Yeah, and one of the biggest Pride events is actually happening tomorrow. The Orlando Pride Parade will take place at Lake Eola at 3 p.m. Participants will walk a mile route throughout downtown Orlando. There will also be live entertainment at different stages throughout the park. Here on campus, LGBTQ+ services will have an LGBTQ+ Spirit Day on October 17th. The event will be at the Student Union patio at 1 p.m. to show support of LGBTQ+ youth. They will also continue their usual bi-weekly Pride chats. This month, the chats will be taking place on the 15th and the 29th at 3 p.m. in Pride Commons. Also on the 29th is an LGBTQ+ employer panel. This is where students can speak with employers about their transition and experiences in the workplace as an LGBTQ+ person. Today, LGBTQ+ Services is celebrating National Coming Out Day at the Student Union patio. And Nightly News reporter Sarah Nagy is live at the scene. Sarah, how is it turning out?
Hey guys, so the turnout here is actually pretty great here on the Student Union patio for National Coming Out Day. The Multicultural Student Center has a tent set up and there's music going, and they have a door that actually represents coming out of the closet. So people were there, were able to take pictures, and they made signs saying what they identify as just like a happy way to celebrate their identity. There's also, they gave away these buttons that shows people without you having to ask they, them, theirs for their pronouns, she, her, hers, and ask me if the person wants to be the one to tell you your pronouns instead of a button. But overall, it's just a good, happy vibe here on National Coming Out Day. So many people are here, so yeah, it's great. But October is LGBTQ History Month, which celebrates the contributions made by the LGBTQ community. I spoke to several members of the Orlando LGBTQ community and found out what this month means to them.
October celebrates and recognizes LGBTQ history. Many people and organizations across the country take time to acknowledge the people that paved the way for the progress made in the LGBTQ community. Notable events like the Stonewall riots in 1969 initiated a fight for change and equality.
In fact, this year we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, which is a monumentous occasion for our community, because it was the catalyst for what is now the contemporary LGBTQ+ rights movement.
LGBTQ History Month also raises awareness to the unfortunate events, like the Pulse shooting right here in Orlando, and the continuing hate crimes targeting the LGBTQ community, reminding us that there still is progress to be made. And UCF recognizes that.
This mural outside UCF Student Union is of Drew and Juan, a couple who went to UCF who were among the 49 killed at Pulse nightclub on June 12, 2016.
UCF is also celebrating LGBTQ History Month, getting members of the community excited about celebrating their history.
Just want to highlight, the contributions of people who have come in the past, like Marsha P. Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, those people who really kind of kick-started the movement, the LGBT rights movement.
Members of the LGBTQ community said that they hope this month educates people not in the community so that they can gain even more equal rights. Reporting in Orlando, Sarah Nagy, UCF Nightly News.
For more information, you can always visit LGBTQHistoryMonth.com. Back to you guys.
The Come Out with Pride Parade sounds like so much fun, and actually, Nikki, I think I'm gonna go.
I think I'm actually going to join you with that one, and I really hope it doesn't rain like it has been all week, but let's go over to Nicole and see about today's weather.
So it's probably a good chance to go out. Here are the current conditions. It's currently 83 degrees outside with a chance of humidity at 59%. Winds are northeast at 10 miles an hour, and the chance of rain today is 20%. So it's probably a good chance to go out to Come Out Pride Parade. Back to Nikki and Manade at the desk.
Thanks, Nicole. Coming up next on Nightly News.
Find out how a chip mimicking the human body can change how we test drugs during preclinical trials.
And how a UCF student created a company to better health others.
Limitless Solutions developed a new wheelchair. The kicker, you can control it with your facial muscles. Nightly News reporter Carolina Stasuto rolls on in with the details.
Limitless Solutions was founded in 2014 and is known for developing bionic limbs for children. But now they have something new in store, Project Xavier. Named after the popular X-Men character, Charles Xavier, Project Xavier is a wheelchair attachment that lets users control it with their temporalis. The goal is to help those with impaired mobility be able to move independently.
This here is a Bluetooth controlled EMG sensor, and it talks to the chair here. And then we have this little adaptive controller here for any joystick wheelchair. And all it does is 2 servo motors move the joystick in the direction required.
The wheelchair works by sending signals from electrodes attached to your temporalis to an attachment on the chair.
This is the 3rd generation wireless receiver. You would stick this right here and it connects wirelessly to the wheelchair. By flexing your muscles, it would go forward, left, and right.
Clinical trials for patients with ALS started for the Project Xavier wheelchair during the spring. So far, the results are promising.
And so we've been having some really great feedback from the doctors and from the patients of how to improve this, so eventually this can be taken home by people needing to use it.
Monero says the device can be used in other ways, such as to do tasks when your hands are busy. But for now, the clinical trial is almost over and they hope to publish results soon. In Orlando, Carolina Stasuto with UCF Nightly News.
Limitless Solutions is excited to see the results of the clinical trial. Until then, they're still developing their bionic limbs.
According to the CDC, Florida's number of overdose deaths increased by 5.9% from 2016 to 2017. A chip modeling the human body is changing the way research is done on overdosed opioid deaths. Nightly News reporter Aaron Harris tells us about the Human Chip Project works.
UCF chemistry professor James Hickman is using human on a chip to change the way researchers learn about opioid overdoses and the repeated use of Narcan. Instead of testing on animals, the Hickman Hybrid Systems Lab uses a device that will model the human body. Hickman says they want to see what happens to organs if they're flooded with opioids repeatedly.
So what we're going to try and do is to use this recirculating system for over a month to be able to monitor repeat times when they've actually been overdosed and recovered and see what happens to the rest of the neurons.
Hickman's research also tests for Narcan to see if repeated use of the drug has long-term side effects. Hickman plans to use stem cells to make neurons from different organs in the body. Once the neurons are on the device, they'll be repeatedly overdosed, then treated with Narcan and similar drugs that can stop an overdose. The human on a chip will be this size. Right here, here, and here is where the representations of your organs will be. The little circles at the ends here and here is where they will inject Narcan or opiates to see how your body will react to the opiates or the Narcan. This research is just the beginning of testing drugs on human body models. Alicia Colon, a graduate student in Hickman's lab, says human on a chip can be used to test new drugs that aren't on the market and help researchers move away from testing drugs on animals. Colon says it's important to test drugs on models that are comparable to humans because the results will match.
You could have a lot of situations where a drug will work really, really well for a certain animal model, but once you put it in humans, you have a lot of systemic issues.
Hickman says they've created a chip that holds 4 chambers, but they're working on adding more. In Orlando, Aaron Harris, UCF Nightly News.
The research is still in its first phases, and the exact design for the human on a chip hasn't been finalized. Hickman hopes the FDA will consider the research for preclinical trials.
Coming up, find out how you can start eating healthier meals that are delivered right to your door.
Plus, it's love bug season. Find out how much longer the bugs will be flying around.
A lot of the time, I am just too busy and never have any time to cook. But a UCF student created his own business to help out students like myself. I spoke to him about how important it is to eat healthy. All across campus, there are dozens of food options, but none of them seem to be healthy options. That is why Luke Ferraro decided to partner with his dad and brother to create University Eats, a healthy meal prep service that is delivered to your door.
All of our meals, are designed around health, so all the macronutrients are going to be tracked and whatnot, and it's in terms of convenience, from what's around campus and whatnot, the food gets shipped right to your door.
College students are always looking for the quickest and cheapest food options in between classes. Many college students have a very busy schedule, causing them to eat out and eat unhealthy. But with options like this, students can still eat healthy while on the go. According to a new study from Northwestern Medicine and Northeastern Illinois University, a whopping 95% of college students fail to eat the recommended amount of fruit and vegetables.
I usually eat out, so for me it just made me kind of watch what I'm eating. I always have a set amount of calories I'm eating per day now. I know exactly what's going in my food. It's all fresh, never frozen, really good stuff. In the future, Luke plans on creating a foundation for students who can't afford meals and even students who are homeless, giving those who may not have the opportunity to eat healthy the chance. In Orlando, Nicole Coughlin, UCF Nightly News. Looking at all that food really made me hungry. If you would like more information, head over to University Eats, that's eatswithaz.com.
Love is in the air, and it's in the form of a bug. Love bugs are back. You may have noticed them flying around or splattered on the front of your car. A postdoctoral fellow from the biology department, Nash Turley, tells us that love bugs are actually here all year round, living in your grass, but we only see them twice a year when they come up to mate and lay eggs. Their full cycle is about 6 months long, which is why we only see them in the spring and fall.
So after they mate, they'll tend to die pretty quickly, and then eventually they'll detach from each other, and the female will go lay eggs, after which the female is likely to die pretty soon too. So then those eggs will live until the next spring or fall.
Turley says the most effective way to limit love bugs is to manage their habitat. Ways to do so include watering your grass, raking, or cutting your lawn. The love bugs love this warm, wet weather we've been having.
I know, the love bugs are a pest.
I've been avoiding actually washing my car.
I know, me too, but hopefully we have some good news with the weather. Nicole, what's the forecast looking like?
So let's first take a look over at the state of Florida. Up in the Panhandle in Tallahassee, it's 87 degrees. And over in the east in Jacksonville, we're looking at 81 degrees. Here in UCF, 87, Tampa, 88, and down south in Miami, 84 for our highs. Now let's look over at our lows. And lows are up in the Panhandle again, 65 in Tallahassee, 66 in Jacksonville, 67 down in Orlando, here where we are. Tampa is 69, and down south in Miami, 78. Now let's look at our weekly forecast. So 5-day forecast looks like the rain is kind of going away for the next couple of days. Saturday, we're looking at 86 degrees, bright and sunny outside, and a low of 68 degrees with a 0% chance of rain. Sunday is 85 degrees, low of 69 with also a 0% chance of rain. Monday, 87 degrees, 70 low, and a 0% chance of rain. Tuesday, 88 degrees, low of 73, and you guessed it, a 0% chance of rain. But on Wednesday, we're going to be same, 88 degrees for the high, 73 degrees for the low, and that's when we're going to be able to see the rain possibly coming back over. So now let's go back to Nikki and Veneda at the desk.
Thanks, Nicole. Men's soccer returns home to face Tulsa on Saturday.
And softball is kicking off fall ball with their first game of the fall season.
Hey Knights fans, I'm Mackenzie Drigo, and this is your UCF Nightly News Sports Update. UCF suffered their second regular season loss and their first conference loss on the road against Cincinnati this past Friday. Nightly News reporter Jasmine Haynes tells us how the Knights plan to use their bye week as time to review their next moves for the rest of the season.
The Knights lost to Cincinnati 24-27 last Friday. This game took the Knights out of the AP Top 25 poll and gave them their first conference loss since 2017. It's the first time the Knights are not ranked in 33 weeks. Dillon Gabriel struggled on the road again, throwing 3 interceptions, one leading to a touchdown for Cincinnati. Coach Heupel says he even considered putting Daryl Mack into the game. He thought it would give the team a better opportunity to score points and win. Gabriel Davis stands behind Dillon Gabriel and believes he'll be ready to go for the next game.
Puts in a lot of extra work that nobody sees. So, he'll just keep preparing and be ready for next week.
The Knights went undefeated for 2 straight years in regular season conference play. Coach Heupel says the team has a lot to correct, and they plan to work on things this week and for the rest of the season coming up.
As always, I think it gives you an opportunity to catch your breath, analyze where you're at, right? Do some self-scout in all 3 phases of the game. Also, judge your personnel, right? Get some guys healthy and, get yourself ready for the second half of the season.
The team will be using this bye week to recover and plan their next moves for the upcoming games. This is the Knights practice field. It's where they come together to address past mistakes and fuel each other to move on into the next game. The Knights return to their home field on October 19th to face the ECU Pirates. Reporting in Orlando, Jasmine Haynes, UCF Nightly News.
Tune in next Saturday to CBS Sports to watch your UCF Knights play against the ECU Pirates at 7 p.m. at the Spectrum Stadium. Men's soccer team had an extended break after their game on Sunday. The UCF Knights will return home to face the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes on Saturday. Tulsa is trying to get their first win of the season. The Knights are coming off of a 3-3 tie against the 4th-ranked SMU Mustangs last Sunday. After the tie, the Knights moved to number 9 in the rankings. Cal Jennings leads the team with 10 goals this season, while Louis Perez leads the team with 8 assists. Cal Jennings will also be looking to continue his run for Hermann Trophy. The game is set to start at 7 p.m. UCF softball is back. Fall games are officially underway and the Knights are set for their second game tonight. The Knights are coming off a winning season after going 34-21, ending the season. Conference play, on the other hand, was not too hot. UCF ended 11-10 in conference play after losing to Wichita State in American Conference Championship. The offense will lead by outfielder Damaria Canyon. Meanwhile, in the circle, the Knights will lead by Brianna Vasquez and Aaliyah White. First pitch against the College of Central Florida Patriots will be tonight at 6 p.m. After a loss last week, women's volleyball is gearing up for 2 games this week. The UCF Knights' 26 conference winning streak was snapped by Cincinnati last Friday. However, they did rebound against East Carolina in their next game, beating them 3-0. Now, they take a look to continue this week as they take on USF on Friday in Tampa and at home against Memphis on Sunday. The USF game will be at 8 p.m. on Friday, and the game against Memphis will be on Sunday afternoon.
That's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us, and remember you can always keep up with us during the week on our Instagram at UCF Nightly News.
And if you've got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynews@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.